If you've ever tried to measure a room by yourself with a tape measure, you know how annoying it gets. The tape bends, it won't stay straight, and you always need someone holding the other end. A laser measuring device fixes all of that in a single click, and honestly, the difference is night and day. The thing is, there are so many options out there that picking the right one can feel just as frustrating as wrestling with that old tape. So I've done the work for you and narrowed it down to 7 of the best laser measuring devices you can get right now. I've left links to every single one down in the video description, so you can check them out whenever you're ready. Let's dive in! First up is the MileSeey S50, a seriously impressive green beam laser that can reach up to 400 feet. The green beam makes a massive difference compared to older red lasers because your eye picks it up much more easily, especially in bright indoor spaces or moderate outdoor shade. What really sets this tool apart is the side-pointing alignment laser. Picture this: you're an electrician laying out a symmetrical grid of recessed lighting across a large ceiling. You need to measure from the exact center line of a support column straight out to the far wall while making sure your device is perfectly squared up. That little side laser projects a perpendicular reference line so you can confirm your alignment without dragging out a framing square or chalk line. It runs on rechargeable batteries via USB-C, but also accepts standard AA cells as backup, which is a lifesaver on remote job sites. The 2.4-inch IPS display looks great from wide angles and switches between light and dark modes. It does pack 18 calculation modes, so the menu takes a little time to learn, but once you get the hang of it, the versatility is hard to beat. Now, if you want something that completely rethinks how you measure a room, the Huepar BLM60G is going to blow your mind. This thing has 2 green beam lasers, one facing forward and one facing backward, so you can measure in both directions at the same time. I honestly could not believe how much faster room layouts became with this tool. You just stand in the center of the space, hold it at chest height, fire both lasers, and you've got your wall-to-wall distance in a single click. No walking to the far wall, no kneeling down to press the base against the baseboard. For real estate agents or insurance adjusters who need to measure dozens of cluttered rooms in a day, this is an absolute game changer. The screen auto-rotates in 4 directions, so if you wedge it upside down into a tight joist space, the numbers flip right side up instantly. There's no Bluetooth or companion app, so you'll be logging data the old-fashioned way, but for the speed gains alone, this one earns its spot. Speaking of tough and reliable, the Bosch GLM165-25G Blaze is the tool you grab when your gear is going to take a beating. Built like a tank with a full rubber housing and an IP65 rating, it laughs at heavy dust and water jets. Compared to the Huepar, it trades that dual laser convenience for unbreakable durability, and that's a worthy trade depending on your environment. The green laser is super visible across big commercial spaces, and the real-time continuous measurement mode is fantastic. Imagine you're a commercial framer walking backward across a concrete slab, pointing the laser at an existing wall. The display updates live as you move, so you stop the moment it reads exactly 16 feet and mark the floor for a new partition wall. It maxes out at 165 feet, which is less range than some competitors, but for interior work and heavy-duty sites, this is the gold standard. Now for something completely different, the Fantic A11 Ultra 3-in-1 feels less like a measuring tool and more like a tiny smart computer. It's got a 197-foot laser, a 3-axis digital level, and here's the fun part: a physical roller wheel built right into the bottom. That wheel uses Hall sensing technology to measure curved surfaces, which a straight-line laser simply cannot do. Think about an interior designer calculating the exact linear footage of fabric for a winding spiral staircase handrail. You just roll the wheel along the curve and it captures every inch of that irregular shape. The touchscreen is gorgeous at 500 nits of brightness, and there's a secondary side LCD showing angle data simultaneously. A clever hidden feature is the real-time clock that timestamps every measurement, so after spending an hour measuring a massive house, you can reconstruct exactly which number belongs to which wall based on the time sequence. The touchscreen can be a little finicky with dusty or gloved hands, so it's better suited for cleaner indoor environments, but for designers and anyone dealing with nonlinear geometry, this is in a league of its own. If you love bilateral dual laser measuring but want to keep your budget in check, the Sigman CD60R delivers that exact same technology at a much friendlier price point. Like the Huepar, it fires lasers in 2 directions for a combined range of 393 feet, and the magnetic backplate is a brilliant addition. A commercial drywall contractor can snap this onto a vertical steel stud, activate both lasers, and instantly capture a floor-to-ceiling height without bending down or climbing a ladder. It supports clean decimal outputs, which is a huge relief if you're entering data into CAD software and don't want to mentally convert fractions. Compared to the Huepar, the Sigman gives you the same core bilateral mechanic, pliés, that handy magnetic mount, while the Huepar edges ahead with more polished ergonomics and green beam visibility. The menu requires a bit of patience since you cycle through modes sequentially, but for the value you're getting, that's a very small trade-off. Stepping into premium territory, the Bosch GLM400 CL is purpose-built for one specific challenge that defeats every other laser on this list: direct outdoor sunlight. It has an integrated 5-megapixel digital camera that acts as a viewfinder, so even when the midday sun completely washes out the laser dot to your naked eye, the camera sensor picks it up and displays it with crosshairs on screen. Here's why that matters. A sighting estimator needs to measure the height of a 3-story roof peak from the sidewalk on a bright, sunny afternoon. With any standard laser, that's impossible. With this tool, you look at the screen, zoom the camera in on the fascia board, line up the crosshairs, and the inclinometer calculates the height perfectly without ever climbing a ladder. It connects via Bluetooth to the Bosch Measure On app, letting you overlay precise measurements onto photographs for client-ready presentations. The screen can catch some glare in direct overhead sun, but that's a minor inconvenience for a tool that lets you measure buildings from the ground. Finally, the MileSeey S7 Pro goes head-to-head with that Bosch outdoor model and brings some serious advantages. It also has a digital point finder camera with 2x and 4x zoom, but stores 1,000 data records internally compared to the Bosch's 50 measurement limit. That's a massive difference on large job sites. The real showstopper is the point-to-point technology with its 360-degree tilt sensor and smart base. Mounted on a tripod in a driveway, aim at the bottom edge of a roof eave, lock the coordinate, then pan up to the highest peak. The device calculates the exact slope, pitch, and length of that roof surface using internal trigonometry, all while you stay safely on the ground. The IP65 rating matches the Bosch for dust and water resistance, and the display switches between light and dark backgrounds for different conditions. The companion app isn't quite as polished as the Bosch ecosystem, but the data capacity and P2P capabilities make this an outstanding choice for complex exterior work. So let's break it all down. If you work in heavy construction where dust, water, and drops are a daily reality, the Bosch GLM165 is your unbreakable workhorse. For interior designers and anyone measuring curves and irregular shapes, the Fantic A11 Ultra with its roller wheel is unlike anything else. If you're a high-volume estimator or adjuster who needs to blast through room after room, grab the Huepar BLM60G for the best bilateral experience, or the Sigman CD60R for that same dual laser power on a tighter budget. Electricians, plumbers, and layout specialists will love the MileSeey S50 for that unique sight alignment laser. And for anyone who works outdoors in bright sunlight, the Bosch GLM400 CL and the MileSeey S7 Pro both solve the visibility problem with their camera viewfinders, with the Bosch offering Slicker app integration and the MileSeey winning on data storage and point-to-point mapping. Links to all of them are down in the description. If this helped you out, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one.